There are two basic schemes for classifying chemical reactions. And these are the types of reactions we've talked about today. This is classifying a reaction by what happens. We mix two solutions and we get a solid form. That's a precipitation reaction. We've got an acid and a base and they neutralize each other. We've got something going on and bubbles are being formed, a gas evolution reaction. Oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, those things are less obvious to the eye, but it involves electrons. And then combustion reactions are a subcategory of those. A reaction can belong to more than one category. Another way to classify is by looking what the atoms are doing. And here we're focusing on the pattern of the reaction, and we'll talk about 4 different types. Synthesis or combination. 2 things combining to form one. Combination or synthesis reaction has one product. Decomposition is like the opposite. One reactant. Decomposing, coming apart. Displacement is sometimes called single displacement. Here we've got a guy going to the prom by himself. He's going stag. And then there's this couple that went to the prom. And somehow during the prom, the guy who came by himself ends up with B's girl. And B has to go home by himself. He got replaced. A single ion got replaced. Or we can have double displacement, double replacement. 2 couples coming, and they mingle, and they end up switching partners. 2 people got displaced. Okay? There's a very simple pattern here, and if you can see the big picture, then it's a lot clearer and doesn't look so random. Synthesis, 2 things combining. The example here is sodium metal and chlorine gas. Both of those are not good for you, and yet when they're combined, they form sodium chloride, and a certain amount of sodium chloride is necessary for life. We look at the reaction down here. 2 things combining to form one thing. Decomposition. Here we've got a 9-volt battery in a beaker of water. Bubbles are forming, so this is also a gas evolution reaction, I guess you could call it. But we're taking one reactant and forming more than one product. It's coming apart, it's decomposing. This one doesn't have an equation, it should, so I'll put one here. If you take a piece of zinc metal, which is solid, and you put it into copper 2 chloride solution, the zinc appears to change color. What's happening is that the copper and the zinc are switching places, and we're getting copper deposited on that piece of metal, and we're getting zinc chloride in solution. That's a displacement or single displacement. The zinc is displacing the copper in the compound. Double displacement, we looked at a lot of those today. The precipitation reactions, we're swapping ions. The acid-base reactions, swapping ions. The gas evolution reactions, we were swapping ions. It's just that one of the products was unstable and then gave off a gas. So we got a couple of flow charts there. Here, classify each. Okay, letter A. What kind of a reaction is that? Synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, or double displacement? Single displacement. Aluminum's coming in by himself. And here's hydrogen and phosphate. Now, aluminum's leaving with phosphate, and hydrogen's leaving by himself. That's single displacement. How about letter B? Double displacement. The copper and the potassium are switching partners. How about letter C? Synthesis. And D? Decomposition. I don't know why I wrote a C. Decomposition. So you should definitely be able to do something like that. Chapter and review slides.